a catch-all hero. It was just, no, it's a good hero against the Alchemist mid. You can deny the range creep often. You're going to get the level advantage, and it forces both supports over. There's just a good progression overall. I think whenever Cinder in drafts like that, when he's comfortable and in his space and he understands what he has to do, then you get drafts like that where no Diggity just outdraft you, they outgreed you, and they out-teamfight you in the mid-game once they pick up the first set of items. But there was nothing there that really stood out. They didn't have any super tier 1 picks or anything like that. So.
Yeah, you're not going to ban Slardar in the first one too. Like Venomancer, you might ban the Slardar, but the Venomancer probably isn't going to be a 1-2. That's a support anyway, at least in that game. So, yeah, I don't think that there's too much.
Draft is almost ready. I just want to quickly check in with Shiva because Newbie and Complexity is still playing.
I'm kind of glued to my screen at the moment because right now Complexity is dealing with mega creeps against Newbie, and they're still they're trying. This is like their final breath, so I feel like they have one more fight in them, and it does look like Newbie is gonna 2-0. So that would mean that we will have Newbie versus the winner of our next game.
Okay, all right, great. Let's head over to the draft then for game 3 because this is a very important draft indeed. For no Diggity and Fnatic. Who wins this one? Let's find out. Drafts.
And there it is.
Got a Doom first pick.
A DJ hero.
Yeah. So pretty much what you were saying before, both of you guys saying they need to prioritize that. That's exactly what they've done. Sensible?
Yeah, extremely. This is a hero that it got some minor nerfs in the last patch, but not enough to change how you play this overall hero. Strong. What are you going to pick against Doom that you think, oh wow, that's such an excellent Doom counter?
Does the fact that they didn't ban him this time surprise you?
No, because Bounty Hunter is still like a really impactful, like it's almost Doom on steroids when it comes to laning phase and how it can be incredibly disruptive. And then Beastmaster is, Beastmaster I think is always going to be a 1-2 ban against the teams that are really good with it.
Yeah. They let them really have Beastmaster and Doom in game 1, didn't they? So they wouldn't have wanted to give them both.
Yeah.
So both No Diggity and Fnatic have ignored Faceless Void the first 2 games. Could be their reasoning for first picking it against the lineup that they have, or with the plan that they have.
Initiation, right?
Yeah, you start the fight off.
You play against a Doom, like the best way to play against a Doom, because he's the counter to everybody, is the fact that you want to be the one who starts the fight. You want Doom to be responding reactively with his ultimate. You want him to be throwing down his ult on a priority target after that target's already used its important spells. So I think they're just putting some premium on that.
Do you think it's a no Diggity hero as well? It's just something that they play well. In the first run when they were in the group phase, they picked it all the time. I think it was Kazu's most played hero there. So I don't think that hero is too surprising. They seem to really like it on Dire's side especially too. So if Fnatic have scouted that out, it's a natural first phase for them.
5 seconds remaining.
The Darkseer follow-up. Better team fight for Fnatic this time around because they see like, okay, team fight heroes, Faceless Void, Venomancer, like they're gonna need a team fight hero of their own. The early mech offered by Darkseer is a nice boon in that regard, and they do have some pretty good sustain so far between these two, like very tanky picks. And they have the potential to do some sort of shenanigans. Like you may see Doom like up there in the top lane with Darkseer, and them do some sort of dual lane if no Diggity have a weak safe lane.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay, so if you're no Diggity, you know you're going to be against Doom Darkseer. Trying to think if they need to prioritize doing double support, just really defensive laning, trying to win that, or just letting YapzOr ditch again.
Yeah.
And play off of bottom. But Faceless Void is not as easy to set up for. Just pre-level 6 doesn't really do too much.
I almost think that because the way that Darkseer will exploit a Venomancer support, you consider running Venomancer as that mid. Yeah, I think so, because you can't leave Venomancer alone against Darkseer. And even if you commit another hero in, I think Venomancer's still weak enough as a support that tri-lane will actually lose if they bring Doom.
Part of the problem though with that is you put the Venomancer mid and your Doom gets a decent timing blink dagger, then the priority is going to be, let's just Doom Veno every single time and kill him. Whereas if you put him as a 4 position and your 4 position Veno gets, or your 4 or 5 position Veno gets doomed, you're cool with that. You're like, okay, all right, somebody had to get doomed in this game, why not one of our supports?
Yeah. And that's the most dangerous thing about Doom, right? Is that you kind of joke it's the counter to everybody, everybody's destroyed by Doom, but the the strength of him as a 4 position is that he will mute someone else, mute an opposing core, right? He's a support position, he's a 4, but oftentimes he's going to take a 2 or a 1 position out of the team fight entirely, which just obviously is a fantastic trade.
Yeah.
But they are going to go for the greedy route, it seems, of giving YapzOr opportunity to jungle away.
5 seconds.
How do you feel that worked out in game 2?
It was good. I thought
Yeah.
they could have played
Reserve time.
more in the jungle. I sort of want to, or we could have
In
played
the
more in the
lane.
offlane, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I want to, after this series of Kezu's around, I want to talk to him about that, just that decision. Because I felt like that was a lane that they could have contested, but YapzOr opted to go for just playing purely for his own jungle in that game. And ultimately it worked out, so it's hard to criticize, but I still kind of want to know the thought
Thinking was
process. Yeah.
behind it. Yeah.
Part of the reason that it worked out was also because Fnatic didn't have like a really good roaming hero to contest that kind of greed. Their only other option was at that point to try and smoke and put pressure on mid, but Blitz referred to like the defensive play style of Koifa and how he's able to play that SF, so it wasn't very easy for them to gank. In fact, we saw when they smoke gank shortly before nighttime, Koifa was sitting so far back that Fnatic actually overcommitted for the gank and ended up losing a support.
It's really easy for the Night Stalker to survive against that support duo. If they just smoke up between them two and it doesn't work out, the turnaround potential is high. You're going to lose both of those supports because you don't have a frontliner. They're just going to get ran at and killed. So you can never invade that jungle. So YapzOr just felt, I'm going to do whatever I want this game.
Talking about supports, 343 basically has been
10
banned.
seconds remaining.
In the Lion ban. Which hero are we looking forward to seeing for him?
5 seconds remaining.
I know the Witch Doctor themselves.
Could do Wyvern against the Void.
Reserve time.
It's alright against some of these heroes. Slows down the progression. Trying to think what else you could reasonably do. I don't know if they have a lot of kill potential though with Wyvern plus Lifestealer. It's not ideal, but I'm okay with that. Maybe you take Bane. You can trade hits really well with the Faceless Void.
Yeah, I like Bane.
And you take it away from potential Synderen?
Yeah, I would take Bane or Wyvern here.
Ooh.
Oh, they
Or the Tinker.
Turn to
yeah,
pick.
so we didn't actually talk about the bans, but no Diggity and the 3-4 banned away like supports because Fnatic didn't have anything out there. As Shiva said, they banned away the Suzy heroes, but then if you look at
Dire
Fnatic,
team
they
ban.
banned away the heroes that combo really well with Faceless Void. So Mirana, Free Arrow, and then Witch Doctor. But this obviously leaves one of the key heroes of No Diggity that we've talked about a couple times, the Tinker for Koifa. And that is a dangerous hero to combo with.
Yeah, does that
Faceless
suggest
Void.
that maybe Fnatic haven't watched an awful lot of these games, or?
No, I think they know about this. I think they think that they can exploit the 20-minute timing, right? Where like No Diggity are going to be insanely strong 35 minutes with Chronosphere and Tinker and Venomancer, like insane team fight heroes. But I think
So they're going to try and kill
Fnatic
this
are
off
going
early.
to push the
Yeah.
pace, right? Because they have the Doom 4 position that's going to be disrupted. Because they have cores like Lifestealer and Puck that come online really early. I mean, that combination, if you actually get jumped by a Blink Dagger Puck with a Lifestealer inside of like Tinker's, anybody's dead. But definitely Tinker's.
You need to pick off hero on the side of Fnatic to deal with it. 'Cause part of the strength of Tinker and something that's underrated as concepts is he puts pressure on your mental game. Because you always think about him in the back of your head. Are we putting enough pressure on the Tinker? Are we shutting down his laning phase enough? Are we gonna scale well into the mid game? Because this hero is just gonna sit back and march, spam rockets at you when you try to push. That's always gonna be in the back of your mind. That means objectives like Roshan, maybe that wasn't as big of a priority coming into this drop, and now, how do you fight around that area? Are you gonna have to go for the high ground at some point? Just things that you don't necessarily want to have to worry about.
But Fnatic is a good team to deal with that kind of pressure. They're a pretty aggressive team. They have done very well in the past at playing 20-minute team fight sort of lineups. So I think they're well set up to deal with that kind of pressure, but it is something that's going to weigh on them as the game goes later and later. I think the last pick here for Fnatic is...
I'm down with Disruptor, Bane, or Wyvern.
Yeah, Disruptor's already banned out. I think that was a good ban. I think Bane, but I think it's a little inconsequential, right?
Yeah.
I think their lineup is pretty much set. The more interesting draft for me would be what is the last pick for No Diggity? What is the carry that goes with this, sort of carry mid and Tinker, and you have this great team fight hero and Faceless Void. You want an aggressive style carry, almost like Gyrocopter, where it's able to kind of set the pace and give Tinker space? Or do you think another sort of later game carry is possible?
Oh, they took Kira.
No,
Paul called it early.
Wow.
Wow. That wasn't
Jakiro
quite
into
what
the
we were
base
expecting, was it?
You had to have somebody zone out though. Jakiro's kind of cool, I guess.
It's an old school combination with the Darkseer. Vacuum into Mecropire, Ice Path.
And we did have the.
Haven't we seen this before though? Not work.
We don't have any. We don't have any pushing heroes on the side of Fnatic. Really, they're just really good early team fight, and they should dominate that area. But they're not going to be able to push the tempo. I almost like Shadow Shaman, you know, like at that point in time.
And a Clinks in position 5 for the last one in the draft. Okay. Well then, let's see how this one goes down, because this is going to be a lot of fun, I've got a feeling. We're going to have a very fun game indeed. We're going to have more from Shiva, of course, a little bit later on. And she's going to be joining us for this game, because the other game, I think, is done.
Yes, correct.
Yes, it is done. Okay, good. And it was 2-0 to Newbie. So
yeah.
We will be having Shiva for this particular draft, and we'll find out at the end exactly how it's going on. 1-1 right now. Let's head back to our commentary team. They might not be very good at cricket. They're decent commentators, they're Australian boys.
That coming from an Englishman?
Prepare for battle.
Just
Can't
tilt.
win them all.
Just tilt.
This cast will
See,
take its own.
this just proves to me that the English are just delusional. Or maybe not the English, that's a little bit too general. Red is delusional, is the best way to put it. Let's get to our game, man, because right now I kind of feel like no Diggity are the Australian cricket team and Fnatic are the English cricket team. It's a lot of spark, but not enough to finish a game.
Well, we can see if they can finish a series, because one of these two teams going down to the lower bracket. No one's getting eliminated now.
No, that is very, very true, but this is, of course, the wildcard matchups. You only have 2 teams that qualify through, and depending on which teams you actually want to go up against, depends on the position you may want to finish this in. But
Definitely objective one is like just make it out
Make it
now.
through,
Like
yeah.
you're thinking we could have just made a 1-day trip to Moscow, or you can be here
Yeah.
for at least 3 to 4 days if you
Yeah.
make it to the main event.
You don't want to do that. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of hassle for what is basically 2 best of 3s before you go home. But we are underway. So Fnatic, they pull up something which we're seeing more and more of here and there, but its results are very varied. It's the classic Jackie. It's the hero pickup for Fnatic. How do you think this is going to work for him?
Ooh. It's good at pushing, taking objectives, something which kind of goes back a bit to game 1 with what they were doing with the Lifestealer pick. It adds an element of teamfight as well to their lineup, and the Yule's Ice Path catch, very useful against the Tinker. So curious to see how they implement. This no Diggity draft is what's kind of crazy to me. The Tinker we've seen at a quick a bit over the last few weeks in the Manila Major qualifiers, but they're pairing it with a Clink's Faceless Voidjaw. There's a ton of damage output to dump it in the Chronosphere right now.
Yeah, and that's going to be the big part, isn't it, right? Like, no Diggity, like Camp was saying on the panel, like, you've got a whole bunch to work with here from Fnatic in the early stages and the mid game and the moving around and ganking, but how do you actually stop Diggity? You got to fight into March the Machines, you got to fight into even opportunities for Fnatic to get the early damage out. You chrono and then instantly follow up with a lot of burst damage. This is where Fnatic could just come apart. And I really am waiting to see like how they deal with it, because do we look towards mid one a little bit more? Like his success up against Kuiper and the speed of that Blink Dagger?
His success and just what he can do against all these heroes, because he's the one who needs to be elusive, not get caught in Chronospheres. He's the one who needs to catch the Tinker out and set up kills, be the kind of the vehicle for the Lifestealer to invest inside to find pickoffs. So there is a ton of pressure on mid one this game, but he's a player who's really stepped it up over the last 3 to 4 months. So I'm expecting big things from him on the puck.
Yeah, ditto. For now, I'm expecting something to happen up on top lane. You got a smoke maneuver from DJ, trying to stand behind Ohio, but this movement forward, I'm wondering what he's really trying to achieve by being here under the cover of smoke.
He's trying to have a higher bait. So if they go in a higher, then turn it around. An Iron Shell on Doom with Infernal Blade is very potent. He gets into the trees, I believe, unscouted here. So this is a really dangerous position for him to be in. no Diggity aren't careful.
The only issue is that creep wave. With the timing of Synderen, he still hasn't been scattered out.
He wants to use his Devour quite likely as well. Actually, I say that he's got a Shockwave, so this is not really... Yeah, there we go. He'll Devour a lane creep.
Yeah.
Double Iron Tail, they're going to steal this.
Synderen's still trying to be more of a nuisance here. So they steal it, but Synderen gets to leech out the experience, so it's 3 waves. I suppose Fnatic, they're just very happy having the extra money up their sleeve. We've got Yapzor again, and like Blitz wanted to ask Yapzor after the game, and maybe he'll actually ask him twice because he's done it twice now. He's like basically just solo jungling. So a straight Iron Talent and then just like flash farm in the jungle. And we'll see what build he goes to. Like we saw the movement away from the Aghanim Scepter in the last game. I'm wondering if this game, if it's a little bit more important to keep that eyes on the puck.
And this game, you've got DJ playing like a more comfort hero that can roam around and apply a lot of pressure, and that's something which can perhaps punish the jungling Night Stalker. I say punish, the jungling Night Stalker comes online at 4 minutes and gets involved, so there isn't really like much room to get, like the one pre-nighttime gank that DJ attempted just then on top lane with the smoke didn't work already, so.
They'll have to wait for a better time, which is 8 minutes into the game. Because Yapzor at this rate, he's actually going to have, like, you see, he'll walk back to base in a bit. But he's basically got TP scroll, he's got two gauntlets and a smoke. He's ready to fight the second the nighttime cracks.
He just wants to be level 4 as well, which he'll get from one more neutral, so.
The only problem is he doesn't have enough life for it. I think he's actually really concerned about dying to the Hellbear.
Yeah, there's a bit of kiting here or there. I say he'll get it. Oh, actually, he missed an attack. Struggle is real.
Well, nighttime now, but it's top lane, mid 1, Koitfa. Synderen's going to be right behind him, so just trying to push mid 1 off the room, but he still got himself a regen. Problem is, he triggered it and then didn't have anything else to work with. He got ticked out.
Right, yep, so he survived the jungle. He's on his way home.
Whew. Well, he's got stick. Okay, stick TP. He actually doesn't have enough item slot. He'll have to use the smoke back at base.
Yeah. Where does he want to go? Bottom lane? The Chrono doesn't seem like a likely kill. Probably
mid would have to be the big thing. Like if you're trying to stop the team fight control of Fnatic, like one, you're making sure Ohio doesn't get himself a very quick mech, and the second is you make sure that puck blink is going to be delayed.
So Riti's top didn't actually commit the smoke to this one. Looks like he's actually kind of like a pseudo defensive TP.
I think he's waiting for DJ to get aggressive, but he's also in a spot where he can cut one tree and go through the rear, but then, okay, Synderen gets straight initiated on. DJ now realizes there's a lot more support here. Synderen dropping low thanks to the dual press, but he'll survive unless he comes in a little bit too close towards DJ. Era's dropping low, so is Yapzor, but they're fighting underneath the tower. They're playing with their lane advantage, and Fnatic cannot finish the job.
The Iron Shell damage though, like Diggity rotate the Night Stalker up there, but you can't really fight into that, and having Iron Shell on both Darkseer and DJ's Doom there, it's going to be a bit too much. I think overall still a Fnatic win, even though they don't get any kills in that exchange. It's Night Stalker losing out on some of his nighttime, Fnatic getting the farm advantage, and there's 3 of the top 4 CSs all on the Fnatic Radiant side.
It looks like Yapzor's now going to commit that smoke. So yep, that's just like fight on top lane and ended up just being nothing, but they're looking towards mid now. Yapzor needs to get the silence off, and he's going to be able to. Mid 1 already used his orb. He'll come back out of this. You got the laser damage, and there it is. Night Stalker will actually be the one to claim the last hit and the first blood.
Yeah, that's what we both kind of talked about. It looked like the first smoke TP gank was going to go towards the mid lane, but comes a little bit later, but it's still just as successful coming out from Yapzor.
You almost say it was better for Diggity and ended up going down the way it did. Like Yapzor realized he needed to be on top lane before Fnatic made their play there. Oh, Yapzor seriously, like, if he walks to the bottom of the stairwell, Ohio sees him. So he has to hold back, but he's just inching to try and go forward.
Kezu is getting the Mushi special in bottom lane. It's been a pure 1v1 for the last at least 2 or 3 minutes, but Mushi is dominating the CS.
Top lane. Yeah. That TP is actually headed to top lane right now. Mid 1 already TP'd up. He gave a couple bottle charges to Ohio when he first arrived. And now looks like they're going to try and kill off the Clinks. They're going to try and hunt down Era. Synderen, however, he already blows it up, and Synderen Takes it for the team. He'll get a Gale off, so mid one and Mushi can instantly TP out. You got Chrono up. You're gonna catch out too, and this is the damage they can just pump into the middle of the Chrono. Puck will go down. Mushi, he doesn't have Infest, but he'll have the Surge wave thanks to Ohio, who may have just sacrificed himself to save the life stealer. Which is kind of funny when Ohio is still like the highest CS or over on Fnatic at the moment. He'll surge up through the tree line, try and juke it out as far as he possibly can. The leap forward from Kaizu. Have they got more control? Yep, there she is. Ohio will drop. So 2 cores dead for Fnatic and no Diggity. They're actually off to quite a decent start here in game 3.
Yeah, fantastic response from Kezu teeing up there to hit that Chronosphere, and all that's happening. Quickbet getting some additional farm in the mid lane. He wasn't exactly on a free farm route towards his Boots of Travel, but now with some neutral stacks, he's going to get there very, very quickly. And it looks like this is going to go uncontested for now.
There is one other thing which No Diggity should keep an eye on, and that's the unthrottled Jakiro. Getting a lot of levels on bottom lane, and with Liquid Fire, he can actually bring down towers very, very easily. So they don't want to leave him alone for too long. But they're going to try and smoke maneuver instead, so DJ in mid 1. The line's drawn to again go top lane. They really want to be killing up Era here.
Yeah, this is a level 6 puck. This is not normally where you see your puck leave his
Era's
lane.
He's going to break the smoke. They see DJ. And Koifa, okay, maybe this move was actually just to stop Koifa from getting his money. And mid 1, he does go through. He's going to orb over and actually rip, so he takes out 3 of these creeps. The Marsh Machine is still going to kill off the last Centaur. It just slows down a little bit of the BT timing of Koifa, but it takes a lot of time out from these 2 heroes.
Yeah, ultimately not the outcome they were exactly hoping for, but they are pushing this top tier 1 tower. Ohio a little bit vulnerable at bottom. There is a potential Chronosphere or just a Night Stalker Darkness to kill him off, but
they got no stun available anymore.
Yep.
So it looks like it's just going to be a straight tower thing, and Koifa's going to start farming up the Radiant jungle while he's in the neighborhood. But they're definitely not going to win out in this tower race, obviously, because they're already lost. But it's the tier 1 tower up on top lane, and it's the possible presence to the tier 1 tower in the mid lane.
Yeah, the Jakiro is already swinging that way, and the Liquid Fire is what's going to win the pushing battle between these 2 teams. So Darkness wearing off soon. It will be hard for No Diggity to actually spend these objectives. Puck level 7 has Dreamcall available, Doom at the ready as well for Fnatic. They've got most of their key spells to fight around.
Looks like Koifa's in position to try and defend the mid.
Radiant's bottom tower is
I
under
have to finish that bottom tier 1 tower first. And Yapsol, well, welcome back to the time he hates, the daytime. Faceless Boys able to get the last hit in the tower, so a little bit of extra money coming in there for Kaizu.
And they draw aggro off, so not a straightforward push by any means for Fnatic.
It's a good time to push as well, because it looks like the Clinks isn't looking like he really wants to fight yet.
Yeah.
Like, Kaizu's moment on that top lane was just perfect, because he got a great Chronosphere, and they were able to punish Fnatic because they moved into a position, obviously, which because Cinder instead.
They want to commit to this, though. They've even infested the Lifestealer inside of a Hellbear, so giving him that little HP buffer.
Era finds mid 1. He doesn't actually have the Death Pact on right now. He also doesn't have a Hellbear, which doesn't help his case either. Okay, so the tier 1 tower is gone. Yep.
Tower goes to mid 1 as well, which I think is probably the ideal outcome with his Blink Dagger being so important this game. Things very even here in the early game, but I think it is somewhat No Diggity favored in that sense, and that tier has been allowed to farm his Boots of Travel up. Too much of a contest from Fnatic.
The bigger thing for Koifa though was getting that secondary item. The one like the Blink Dagger, the one that allows you to just move into the tree lines. Because Fnatic don't really have great catch against him. Like mid 1 is it. That's the reason why I was looking primarily for his Blink Dagger timing. Because he's like the one and only man that's gonna be able to like lock down Koifa.
Just so far, Diggity have gotten away with a decent amount of greed. You've got a Midas on Faceless Void. You've got farming Night Stalker in the jungle with Iron Talon. Clinks, it's just kind of a greedy laning hero as well. This hero takes some time before he really gets active, and Fnatic are kind of yet to punish it. I say yet to. They've taken 2 tier 1 towers. They need to just... Ideally for Fnatic, going to be getting kills as well as towers.
Mid lane, Era, do you feel like you got enough for this? Nighttime's going to trigger.
Chrono, and Mushi saw the Void coming in with the Observer Ward, so they know what's going on.
Yeah, up against that armlet. If he didn't have the armlet by that point, it would have been a lot easier for him. But, no joy? Diggity still hold on to their lead of 3-1. They don't hold the lead in net worth, however, but it's so close, it's basically negligible. I guess 500 net worth going the way of Fnatic and just about 800 experience going the way of no Diggity.
And that's with a 2-tower lead, so that's where there is concerns on the Fnatic side. I mean, they don't really know the goal difference themselves, but they've got to feel like they're not really punishing Diggity at all. Like, this Tinker Boot to Travel is just going to slow the game down, give Poikva an easy way to defend and push out these lanes. Void Venomancer teamfight is also something Fnatic have to really start respecting. And they're in.
Well,
seen this one before.
Well, thanks for your life, thanks for your service, and goodbye, Synderen. DJ is also going to TP himself off top lane after Yapsol also had a little bit of a hello with him.
Top tower is under attack.
But this now means the push is coming on bottom lane, and Koifer is already there.
Forced to kind of restock where things stand.
That's fine. Whew. Now, Hiya's inventory, he basically has the entire mech.
Yeah, so it's just a casual buckler on the Doom then. Could be a transition into the Crimson Guard, but not a bad Crimson Guard game against Clinks. Void to a small extent, the Night Stalker also to a small extent, but more likely to see the Vlads, the Blink Dagger type follow-up to just a casual buckler.
Yeah. That timing though, like with the mech this early on, like can Fnatic actually force Wise against Diggity?
They can force towers. This is like liquid fire plus mech. Let's just push towers one by one. And
so is that it? Like you actually focus on the tower and not the team fight?
Ideally, you want to take fights, but Diggity is always going to play keep away. So if you try and chase them around, you don't have good catch. That's one of the weaknesses of going like the treads before the Blink Dagger is that until they get a blink on mid one, they can't actually force a team fight. So like the plan B is if they're not in fight you just take their towers, and that's basically what's happened the first 12 minutes. Fnatic have taken 2 tier 1 towers, but they're not really winning because Diggity have done such a good job just out farming them.
Yeah. I doubt even they can take towers without taking considerable damage. Like, you almost just have to, like, liquid fire is the only thing you can do to bring down the tower. So the martial machines will keep the creep wave off. If you're bringing heroes too close, then Chronosphere is going to happen and you're going to lose those heroes.
Yeah, you have to position very carefully in front lines there. Mushi has to, if you see that Void come on, he needs to make sure he gets off like a rage before the Chronosphere hits him, so that he doesn't take too much damage inside the Chronosphere. And
I'm wondering, just because like the amount of pressure we're applying to a Chronosphere from KZ right now, he normally comes through for no Diggity. In fact, it's one of his best heroes to play for them on the offlane. Is it worthwhile going for an early Blink Dagger, or is the minus meant to like propel him into something bigger, like something else, like having an Agate Interceptor so there's less downtime for Fnatic while the Chrono's off, where they feel like they can fight and can push up?
Void definitely here that benefits a lot from the level, so there's a chance he's just picking this up to kind of power level himself towards that max time dilation, but Blink Dagger eventually needs to come out on Faceless Void. It's just a matter of whether he gets it now or kind of transitions into it through some other items. I'd like to see the fast Blink. I think that Diggity had the ability to take team fights using the Clinks and the Tinker to dump damage in the Chrono. He would go, they're going to force the fight up top.
Yep, there's a Dream Call. Era as well as Yamsel going to get caught. Yamsel just starts his TP. Era already took the stun, so you'll already have Yamsel get away, and Era just legs it.
They thought Doom had
Mushi on bottom lane, however. He's looping in round. The Observer Ward scouts out Synderen's moving in. Ohio going to vacuum back. Mushi starts his attack with the open wounds. Koifer losing too much life, and Synderen body blocks it up, but Koifer's got the space. The Infest damage, however, is able to spill up to the Tinker, and now Mushi locked inside the Chronosphere. Synderen commits Nova, and Yapsor comes to help out. A quick silence. You've still got that armlet available for Mushi. You drop down low. He's ticking out. He's actually hoping, what, the Centaurs will save him? That ain't going to happen. Yapsor runs through and they will find the revenge kill, and they may even get more. Ohio also knocked free. Era, too much damage, and that's a double kill for a Night Stalker who's now 3 kills on the board out of the 5 of no Diggity.
Yeah, what a nice turnaround and punish. And Fnatic missing those kills at top lane was just a bit sloppy from them. Like rare mistakes from DJ. He had both Doom and level and the Infernal Blade. Level death, gosh. Been a while since
you old school, bro.
But yeah, he had 2 ways to cancel TPs, but they got too greedy. They tried to get the Clinks and the Night Stalker, because it was a great coil initiation catching 2, but realistically they just didn't have the numbers to kill them both. They had to just commit to one, and DJ tried to get the Clinks, but needed to just cancel the Night Stalker's TP and take Yapster. If Yapster dies there, then that kill on Mushi doesn't happen at bottom, so that really kind of had a very bad domino effect on what Fnatic ultimately ended up with Mushi dying.
Deb still sticking to his item build. Once again, this Vlad's kind of style, which does free up the Faceless Void to still do whatever the hell he wants.
So going back into more points in time lock, looking for a more DPS oriented build, it looks like. And Diggity are truly playing like a 4-core lineup here. 4 heroes very clearly all looking to maintain some decent level of farm and even just scale well into the late game. And when you've got a Tinker, your plan is very much to take it into the late game most of the time.
Fnatic, they're gonna 3-man plus Infest smoke up. They're running down to the bottom lane, so again, like, okay, killing off Cinder, and at one point it just doesn't mean anything else anymore.
Yeah, they're not even heading that way initially. They put down a ward mid, try and find a more high priority kill, but
they actually didn't have another observer ward. Like, if you're looking to attack that bottom tower, you probably want to put one up on the hillside. They just have a sentry instead.
I think they were more intent on finding a kill on someone like a Tinker. That's why they put that ward behind the tier 2 mid tower. But
when they run out, now they go out underneath the dire observer ward. So no Diggity were aware of then, well, Fnatic are up to. They won't be aware of, like, obviously the obs in mid.
No, Diggity have just done an incredible job this game of just avoiding Fnatic's aggressive plays. You know, the small misplay at top with the Dream Call, not when they should have gotten at least 1 kill, but other than that, it's been just Diggity kind of reading the map very effectively.
Era. Quick snipe. Out. Forces a rotation out from Mushi, also gives them the information, the fact that Mushi now is stuck up the top lane for a bit. It's a simple thing to do with the Clinks. That's kind of like the T1 tower advantage which Fnatic gets. Doesn't even really mean that much because just how quickly Clinks can just turn that advantage around. And his Desolator is almost done.
Doesn't feel like Diggity have a... Are there in any...
Mid one?
Mid one. That's
Finds K2, but yeah, there's no follow-up. The Jakura is in the neighborhood, but like, what's Jakura gonna do? Yep. He doesn't have a single point up Nice Path. It's a 2-0-4-1 build from the Jakura. Purely
pushing, and they've taken the tier 1s, but they haven't taken much more than that. And Diggity are maintaining their farm. They're keeping towers alive now. They just let their tier 1s drop, and when they are kind of seeing a push come down one lane, they're sending Clinks elsewhere on the map just to counter-push it. There are now Desolator en route, so... try and 5-man push too much, Clinks will just clear out the lanes.
Wondering if Clinks is also looking towards Roshan. You go for the tier 2 up on top for Roshan trade. Quoipa blinks away, mid one, a little bit too far away from him to reach him with the Dream Coil. She having no guaranteed vision on the Tinker. Didn't take the risk.
Maybe mid lane, perhaps a initiation on the higher.
No, Void, he'll jump in. TP support on the way, 1 and 2. The Jakura is going to be the first one to the front line, but now an Era also arrives. Dream Call catches out 3. K's going to start his TP out. Yapsa will die, and Era, very quick doom out from DJ. Ensures they can get some revenge. At the same time, you lost Mushi up on top lane to Quoipa.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Mushi, but the Tinker...
he was left
solo
behind.
kill, it looks like. Yeah, he was left behind. He was TPing, his TP's on cooldown, so I guess Tinker just killed him mid-TP.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Well, what the follow-up's going to be, it still was a even 2-for-2 trade, more damage being done to tier 2. So Fnatic take the top tower. This mid one, for Fnatic, the overall game plan has to be take every tower, outer tower on the map, get map control, pick up an early gem, I want to say, and just starve out Diggity in their own base. Tinker will be able to like push out lanes a bit and maintain his farm, but you've got to limit the farm that Diggity can get. When they're running 4 farming cores, you can't give them complete access to their own jungle, the Ancients, your jungle. You've really got to try and just close off the map as much as possible, and the best way to do that is going to be by taking all these outer towers, keeping up just map vision, and then starve out Diggity by picking up that early gem.
Good luck with the map vision. Even Synderen, I don't think with the Obs and Sentry, he's got just outside Roshan. You've still got another one deep. Like Fnatic probably thought they were able to get that nice deep Obs of no Diggity with their last little D wall they did like 30 seconds ago. But now, like no Diggity still has like perfect vision everywhere. They'll run down. They'll do Roshan. Maybe no Diggity might want to go a little bit deeper inside Roshan's pit, but it's already too late. Fnatic won't get here. but it doesn't even look like Fnatic are aware.
And we've seen this all, well, game 2 and game 3. Game 1 there wasn't any opportunity to do it, but no Diggity being just really good about taking early Roches. They always have a draft which can either itemize towards or at least has the hero composition to take Roche at a fairly early stage, whether it's the Slaughter from last game or the Clinks from this game, and they're taking these pre-20-minute Roches, and you get to them, you get kind of like the 30 to 40-minute stage of the game, and suddenly they have an Aegis and Cheese from that third Roche. They've taken 2 or 3 Roches almost always without really without much of a fight, without any contest coming out of Fnatic.
Synderen is your sacrificial ward, moving between the tier 1 and tier 2 towns. Actually, it looks like he broke his, he broke his invis down both of these ops wall, but it's the mid lane fight which is now going to erupt. DJ, the first one to get caught out. Gale, he can't get his zoom off because he's still actually crossed inside the silence. There's a Nova that did the work, but now Mushi, he'll arrive. Synderen will go down, but he's already done his job for the team. The question is, can the respawning era have more to work with? They've got the sentries down, so he can't walk outside with the skeleton block for K2. He'll arrive with the double chrono, and Era's not caught into it, so he can turn around, doing the damage into Mushi. He'll find the kill, then 3-4-3. Doesn't stand a chance. Mid wants hunting on the back lines, trying to chase down Coidfa with a quick TP out. There's no stuns available, so Fnatic will lose 4 heroes, and all they managed to claim was the already beaten and battered Synderen.
Yeah, they got an Aegis as well out of the Clinks, but a big victory for no Diggity. The patience from Kezu to wait and find the ideal Chronosphere. Era also willing to just throw away the Aegis to make sure that Fnatic fully committed to the fight. Ahaya gets a great vacuum wall off, but it takes out a Clinks with an Aegis, and then the follow-up is that Diggity get a great Chronosphere because Fnatic are fully committed. They don't have a good way to cleanly disengage. The Lifestealer, just by its nature, like if Lifestealer goes into a fight, he's committed. He's either going to win the fight, kill 3 or 4 heroes, or he's going to die trying. There's no, okay, I'm getting out of here, unless you've still got Infest up, which typically we're seeing Mushi use the Infest to initiate, so there's no escape plan for Mushi right now.
It seems like Fnatic's win conditions becoming a lot harder, and the longer this game goes on, the worse it looks for them. Because no Diggity just controlling up everywhere. Yeah, like Mushi can't stay on top of the target either. Like, it's still a crazy thing, like just how powerful that Faces Void is with Chronosphere.
The longer this game goes on, the more potent that Chronosphere gets. The vision advantage for no Diggity is going to become apparent too. Although Yapstra, as I say that, he's going for a Blade Mail after the Blades. This game I particularly like the build he's going for, just because very much under pressure now. So rather than try and save up for an item which is going to be a slow, steady build-up, and it's an item which isn't good until you get the full thing, he's going to buy just these cheap, more cost-effective items with the Vlads and the Blade Mail.
Get him in as a fighter nice and early on. Era has no intention of being there for the fight just yet. Like, actually, it looks like Yamsaw's hunting somebody if he can catch up to him. You are during nighttime, so he does have that quick advantage with the Ops plan down by 3-4-3. Yamsaw didn't see that, but with the Void onto 3-4-3, rotations coming over. Do you want to really go in this deep? Keizu still waiting. The Yulset from mid one will keep Keizu out of this fight, but 3-4-3, he's still going to drop, and now your Chronosphere catching up the Darkseer, who tried to help by throwing out the wall, but he may just lose his own life for it. Synderen's there to help out. Yep, you can't search yourself away when the Diffuser Blade is up. You pick up the puck with the Darkseer and the Jakiro, and Doom was burnt. They tried to kill off Era.
That was Era at this stage just so tanky with Death Pact and the Blink Dagger mobility. He 3-shotted the puck there more or less with the Death Pact bonus damage. And Mushi was not at the fight that broke out, and as a result it's no Diggity who are going to take an objective themselves and really start pulling ahead here in the Game 3 decider.
And Fnatic, they may be forced to play, well, at least have themselves a break. The next game coming up is going to be the winner's bracket game, with Newbie potentially up against no Diggity. The loser of this series goes up against Complexity. And that's not going to be an easy matchup at all. They should be expecting Complexity, like wishing they were playing up against no Diggity, to probably have more confidence up against them.
Time is money.
But for now, the game's not over yet. But the advantage is still pushing a long, long way to no Diggity. 12k experience, about 8.5 to 9k worth of net worth.
And Fnatic's way back in is what they're doing now. They're smoking up, they're looking for kills and pick off.
Not again, not again.
This happened before. This is what Diggity wants.
No, he had the gem.
Oh, okay,
he had the gem, he only just got the gem.
Okay.
The second you start dewarding with the Venomancer, and you already lost the gem. Oof. Well, it just makes life a little harder now. That is nice for Koifa. Blinks away just in the nick of time as mid one tried to initiate in, blinking into a march to the machine to let the Dream Coil go.
And Koifa's itemization, go for the 4-star with the Blink Dagger, very much gearing up to be able to get away from Mushi's Lifestealer. He really wants to have that extra bit of kiting potential. All the cores, I mean, you've got the Void with Time Walk, you've got the Clinch with the Blink Dagger. It's all about mobility on the side of Diggity. Try and limit Mushi's damage output in these fights, and he's going to be entirely reliant on the puck to lock heroes down in place, silence them, Dream Call them. Otherwise, he's just not going to be dishing out damage.
That's if the puck can live right now. Era wants to... Nope, he's not going to... Well, he could try and kill off 3-4-3.
Yeah, it's a freebie.
Well, how many? 3, 4, 5. And he actually blinks to avoid the ice pump before walking back into it. But it's the fact you got killers now over on No Diggity. Like the burst damage is starting to level up with the level 2 Dagon currently over on Tinker. So keeping heroes alive. Actually having Puck getting initiation off, I'm already concerned that he may not be able to do so.
Yeah, forced to go into this Yule Scepter build just for some extra survivability, but here we go. Half HP Puck, smoking, or invised up, looking to get aggressive, but boy,
well, the Observer Ward sees the Absol. They know Yamsor went up there, in fact, because they got really good vision around here.
Pop the Blade Mail too.
Yeah, that's maybe a little bit earlier. Trying to use it to be a little bit safer on his farm, and now they initiate in. Mushi won't really care anyway, because he just rages up. And Nightmare triggers a little bit too late as well.
It's a fortunate time to use Blade Mail to farm neutrals.
I don't think it really would have mattered though. Like you have a raging lifestealer with open wounds.
Yeah, with the changes, you still take damage while you're magic immune in the rage form because of the Blade Mail reflecting physical damage. But like you say, there's open wounds, there's speed. So lifestealer is gonna actually kill Night Stalker through the Blade Mail damage. That, it wouldn't have mattered, but made Fnatic that a little bit more confident that they don't have to worry about the counter kind of initiation.
EP's coming into bottom lane. It's going to be Koifa.
Man, that gem was such a gift.
Yeah, it really was. It's got to stop happening. It just makes life so much harder. Like, these Observer Wards shouldn't be here. These two Obs Wards shouldn't be here. The sad thing is, too, Syndrome would have had to walk around them to actually go down and D-Ward in front of Roshan.
Era spots Mushi here farming the Ancients and has a Chronosphere.
Yeah, but Era blinked into the middle of it. That's not really the plan they wanted to have. And Era will just have to go invis and run away. The gem, the stolen gem, is currently sitting over on the Doombringer. I mean, it was too far away to reveal off the Clinks.
Roche back up. Fnatic have got to have it in their minds that they can't let this one go for free.
Cinderan's warding is also just got scattered out.
His sentry scattered 2 obs though. That's a
yeah, but his obs that he planted in front of the Roshan pit was also scattered.
Yeah. He's pinging for help.
He just needs some vision up on the hillside. Well, there's a sentry there anyway, so it doesn't matter. So Fnatic, well, okay, they're going to have a play at Roshan.
They have no chrono to worry about. That failed chrono onto Mushi.
You still have like mass march machines that can come out from Koifa.
It's still not easy, but
this really isn't an easy task at all.
It's definitely a whole lot more possible, and maybe the best chance they're going to get it going for Roche.
Here comes March 1. They're rocketing inside the pit as well.
Yeah, they've got to at least reset a bit, heal up. She's probably going to look to lifesteal. Even dropping it, probably doesn't want to infest, but...
Oh, he did. He actually jumped into mid one. They're going to look for their opening, but there's plague wards everywhere around the pit, so getting in close is really difficult, unless the Darkseid does exactly what he did. Like, it's an aggressive surge over on mid one, so we can move forward. Bought enough time. It's 5 seconds till Chrono's back off cooldown, and now Fnatic try and push the bottom lane. They're grouped up really nicely for Keizu. There's 2 of them there. They'll gale over on top of the Shakira. The Ice Punch well on target. The back wall, however, that'll do some work. The Chronosphere will finally drop down, but it's Keizu basically by himself until Koifa moves forward to land that extra Dagon damage. Era taking out the fight for a little bit thanks to the Doom, but as Keizu time walking himself out, gets the kill over on the Darkseer, and they can finally recover that gem that was lost before.
quickly does a lot of damage. Keizu's finding great chronos in these team fights.
I had no stuns.
Well, for that, Roche not claimed by Fnatic, and it's going to be no Diggity with a Desolator Clinks probably headed towards that pit.
Yeah, hero. You can see him, man.
Mid-1 wants to try and contest this Roche, but this doesn't look like it's going to be possible.
Well, there's no help coming. DJ's just TP'd in. Jakira's right behind him. But they're too late. They just can't get there in time. And it'll be the Immortal Era fighting.
See Dagon being leveled up, level 5 Dagon, and that's where the damage output of Quakeba inside these chronospheres and in a team fight is just going to get a bit absurd at this point.
Yep. I'm wondering where he goes from there. Like, do you go all out damage? Do you almost go for like the old classic E-Blade?
It's just not the item on Tinker these days, I feel. You've got a lot of physical damage coming out of Clinks and Void, and you may just end up messing up your teammates. You're probably better off getting, I want to say, a Shiver's Guard against the Lifestealer. It's also a possibility, but you can even go back for a Bloodstone. I've seen some Tinkers just favor that extra, like, boost up your mana pool. It just helps when you've got the level 3 rearm, which costs 300 mana, and you get instantly 12 charges as well, so even like a later Bloodstone pickup can be good on Tinker these days.
We'll find out in a bit where he wants to go. While the rest of No Diggity, they can still keep hunting. They got Nagus the Immortals. They want to try and make some level of play. Chrono's back off cooldown. You have a level 18 Faceless Void. So with only 100 seconds on the cooldown for it, is you can always be looking to fight.
And the big thing with Keizu is just his itemization is very much built towards being able to fight into the Lifestealer. Manta plus Diffusal. If he catches a Chrono on Lifestealer when he hasn't got Rage up, he's going to burn Mushi's mana pool away. And even if he's Rage up, he's got lots of Agi. He can pop the Manta, he can get out of the open wounds, and Mushi doesn't really hold up very well against the Void, despite having a farm advantage as well as an AC.
Yeah, so an Era, they're coming for a hunt. It's almost like they're trying to bait with Synderen, saying, hey guys, like Synderen's in the trees, you can know this because there's fresh Plague Walls being planted on bot lane. And
Synderen's often alone in these situations, so it's like a good mind game you can play.
I kind of feel like he's trying to go for his fellow Danish award, aka Malk award. He's 0-5-10 currently on the Venomancer.
He's got a lot of deaths to go, Toby.
That he does, but hey, if anyone can do it.
If he's going for it, he needs to page from Malk's book, just start throwing his life away a bit more.
Alright, so mid one, the Infest is there, but they're already too late. Only just Synderen able to just get himself away at just the right time. You can thank Division, which is also around inside the Radiant jungle for that.
Possible tier 2 tower here for Fnatic, not a must defend tower for no Diggity. Unless they get into position, they're already TPing tier 3, so possibly just looking to posture themselves to mount this defense.
I'll be ready for it. Hero. They actually don't see him fighting up, and he gets a fresh death pact. The mid one's still infested in the tree line. That's a phase shift so he can blink himself away into a safer area. And the rest of No Diggity, they really want to fight this. Like, they know they're stronger right now.
Got Aegis and everything. They've got the BKB.
How long you got left? Okay, so it's about a minute, just under 2 minutes left.
Their life just going to scale so well going into the late game is the thing, though. So they're not going to like waste time not farming other lanes just because they want to end against Fnatic. Quakeba, get another couple thousand gold. Keizu's farming. All 4 cores on the Dignitas side sing over 10k net worth now.
No Diggity, just in a perfect point.
Yep, so just about 1,000 gold away from Aghanim Scepter now on Night Stalker, so that's going to be... It's really like there's no like one big timing for Diggity. The timing is just late game. Like they win in the late game scenario, assuming they maintain this level of farm. They have the map control with the Night Stalker, Aghanim Scepter. They've got the gem on their side once again.
I'm just wondering when okay, we understand everything that No Diggity's got that's working beautifully. But as I see this build coming up from Mushi too, like he's building into a heart over on a live stealer. So you got an insanely tanky live stealer. It doesn't have any real lockdown and control. So right now it looks like he'll just survive the Chronosphere to fight another day.
That's the plan. He knows his teammates can't really get him out of jail if he gets chronoed up, and he's just looking to stay alive and then rely on his teammates, the Puck, Darkseer, like the Jakira Ice Path. All of his teammates are going to have to provide the lockdown for him to get kills in these fights.
That's going to be so difficult for them to do. Tier 2 tower is now evaporated. DJ already scuttling his way back from the mid lane. Was really safe at the moment. It looks like you were right about the Tinker Bloodstone. It was something which I think it was Sing Sing who actually did it on Kai P when he played that Tinker. Actually went BT's Blink and into the Bloodstone straight away without actually having the extra Dagon and 4-star.
Yeah. The old school Tinker build when this was like the metagame here was you'd a lot of Bloodstone and just play this very passive farming centric Tinker, but I like what Quicks has done where he's been fighting, playing around the Chronosphere a lot, and then now going back for that Bloodstone item just to boost up his mana HP pool and give him that shorter respawn time. It also means if you play it right, you should never give up your kill bounty because you can always use the Bloodstone Suicide and then re-arm it after you come back. I say play it right, I mean you could just get disabled and prevented doing it, so do Alpha Fnatic or doomed up.
And Kazu's been such a dick to Fnatic. He triggers his mana style and dewards with his illusions.
Oh.
But
Yeah,
Fnatic right now, like we're actually at a point where the only observer ward they've got is the Tinker wards. Well, I say wards plural when there's actually only one singular, which is up on the top lane on the side.
I know Diggity have fantastic vision going for them. This is before even having the Nightstalker Aghanim Scepter. They see everything on this map, and having like 4 wards up where they are, it's not just seeing where heroes are, it's seeing where they're not. If you see no heroes on the map, there's a very good chance Fnatic are 5-man smoke, for example, when you can see their jungle, you can see the mid lane, you can see parts of your jungle on the top river.
And now you can see, well, now you can see how No Diggity have a bigger side advantage again. They Aghanim Scepter fresh over the Nightstalker, and No Diggity, they try and come in and fight. Yep, they look towards the top lane, they get a glimpse of Mushi, yep, now they see a glimpse of Mushi. Hero doesn't have long left over, actually doesn't actually have anything on the death pack, but it doesn't really matter when you get a corner like that. Mushi's already going to go down. You'll Yule's over on mid one, but then the next target's just going to be DJ. Doom or not, Hero will survive it. You got his BKB off at 3-4-3 will also not get out. 4 heroes lost. Faceless Void taking 2 of them. And No Diggity, they are poised to win this third game and take the first series.
It just shows how reliant they are on the lifesteal to do damage. No Diggity just content to one-man chrono him to start the fight and take him out, and there's no real good counterplay to the Chronosphere. You can throw the Ice Path, perhaps catch the Void, but it's not just the Void doing damage, it's the Tinker and the Clinks from the outside who can't really be dealt with. And
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
now without an Aegis, they don't even need an Aegis, they're going to be threatening high ground here, possibly forcing some buybacks.
Well, that'll be the ideal scenario if you're No Diggity. But the only one you've got right now is Lifestealer. They just keep trying to beat the living crap out of that tier 3 tower. What Jira is able to do from range, TP's coming to the front lines, that's the Boom Bringer. Ira's last arrow doesn't miss uphill and hits perfectly to the tower and Koifa. Oh, 3-4-3. He didn't die from that, but the rocket, it's also not enough damage, I don't believe.
Yeah.
Yep. His one charge just gave him just enough lives straight after that, like no other basic attack could kill him.
Clinks has a sheep stick, so you've got Clinks who can solo kill this Puck. Mid one who just picked up a Hex of his own, he's actually not safe now moving out on the map.
I don't think anyone from Fnatic right now is going to feel too safe. Even with the fresh Shivas over on the Darkseer, but they have to come at some point. Roshan,
yeah,
like as far as they know, Roshan could have spawned about a minute ago.
They probably have to smoke and try and contest it. They're fighting around the Roche pit with level 3 wall plus vacuum. Using that with the Infest combo. Mushi's trying to finish off his Heart of Tarrasque, it looks like, but like you say, if Roche is respawned and No Diggity are claiming it for themselves, then you're defending against an Aegis cheese.
Maybe for once too that Jakira is able to have like some kind of influence on this game, because at the moment 3-4-3's movements You understand like what he was meant for. Timing has passed a long time ago. And Syndra setting up in Roshan.
Just prepping.
Got
all the
what's
wards and
everywhere.
stuff ready too.
Hey, it's like the only ward you can put in Roshan, right?
Serpent wards too.
Yeah, you can drop mass wards. You are right. Second ward. Yeah.
No ward. You can.
But apart from those three wards,
the only wards. I think the better example is the only wards you can't drop are Observer and Sentry wards.
Oh, Era. They scouted him out thanks to the Sentry ward that was there, as well as the gem.
Oh, he gets by. That would have been a nice little kill for them.
Ice Path is such a problematic ability to land.
Very much so. And DJ not having a blink means he can't like blink Infernal Blade to initiate.
This Void has a full AC as well.
Yeah, this game.
Casey's got so much money. Whew.
They're gonna just there we go. The set from Syndra is already gone, but Rosal's drop in no time at all. Puck's still dead from the clink. And no Diggity get themselves Aegis and Cheese now.
And they give the Aegis to Era. Cheese looks like Syndra's gonna be a carrier for the moment.
Kezu's so farming, just doesn't have room for Cheese. That's
only thing I drop is like what, Hand of Midas?
Yeah, he's probably happy to carry it, keep farming, get some attack speed. He hasn't died the entire game. Kezu 6-0 and 7. He had a very shaky game 1, and I'd say game 2, despite no Diggity's win there, he was not convincing on the Darkseid, but he has been phenomenal on the Faceless Void here in game number 3.
It's the comfort. This whole draft is just Diggity comfort. Like Penno, Clinks, Nightstalker, like the Koi for Tinker and the Faceless Void. Tinker might be a little bit more left field for the current meta. It's just the fact that like it's still a very comfortable hero for Koidfa.
And I think their high ground defense is about to be tested, and they have not got the best lineup to be defending high ground with outside of the Darkseid really.
But Diggity aren't in position to fight straight away. And thanks to the Observer ward that's up on the hillside, at least they can know where the attack's coming. May not matter when Era initiates very, very aggressively up through the mid. Mushi charging out, trying to fight him. But it's Keizu, a 3-man chrono. The wing was clipped for 3-4-3. Can they get a Darkseid back wall? Well, they can, but everyone's already hit by the Nova. Even with the Gale and DJ, him getting close enough to get a boom off. Chances are fairly low for now. Syndra's already TPing away to safety. He was low enough that he kind of had to do that. Mushi, the nukes are real. Koidfa will come in again, but the damage from Era, you just blink over any of the control, the doom will happen again, but no puck, no life stealer. Because their buybacks are currently on cooldown for now. This will be a mid-racks or a bottom tier 3 tower. Potentially both.
No buybacks on the two main cores of Fnatic. Possibly gets told they do. Darkseid gets assassinated, and Koidfa. No mercy coming out from the Tinker Specialist.
Why Grand Mercy? This is wildcard elimination. On day 1 we eliminate 2 teams, and right now it looks like it's going to be Diggity going up against Newbie in that winner's bracket final. Then Fnatic. I think a lot of people expected them to have a good performance here, especially up against no Diggity, but now...
And their first showing with Mushi back in the roster on the carry position, they made some adjustments, and this is an unfortunate start for them because this wildcard is really do or die for them. If they don't make it out today, they're done for.
Yep, they get to sit, watch, and learn.
And wait for Manila, I guess.
Yeah, that would be pretty much it. Koidfa has E-Blade. He actually ended up doing it. They just want to end this game. They want to take the victory. Fnatic will have one last chance. They'll jump forward. There's a good smoke. Wait for Keizu, however. There's your Chrono Spear. Catching out DJ as well as 3-4-3. DJ still isolated. He doesn't have Doom available to kill off the Tinker, but at this point, money is going to win you the game. You just buy back. BT forward. The Doom will buy back as well. Instantly time locked up. Mushi is just getting completely out controlled, and there it is. Good game. Well played. No Diggity will 2-1 Fnatic here in our first series on the mainstream.
It really looked and felt like after that game 1, like we could just be in for a quick 2-0, but boy did No Diggity show some serious composure playing at their first LAN event as a team. They bounce back 2 great drafts in a row coming out from Synderen, and I mean, no Diggities. They're here to play some good Dota.
Yeah, and that was absolutely wonderful Dota. Of course, the people who know what is wonderful, apart from Paul, is our panelists.